Black Friday for most of us in the country. Green Friday, though, in Colorado. Up next, my colleague Ronan Farrow goes inside the state's booming marijuana industry as they prepare for their first legal holiday shopping season. Welcome back, everybody. We know that Thanksgiving and Black Friday shopping go hand in hand, but in Colorado, Black Friday is taking on a whole new meaning this year. That's because this is the first holiday shopping period since the state allowed stores to sell recreational marijuana. And many of the state's new pot stores are taking advantage, offering deals and discounts on everything from pre-rolled joints to marijuana-infused pumpkin pies. They're calling it Green Friday, and it's all part of the rapidly growing marijuana industry. As demand for pot builds, a company called Amercanex just launched its first of its kind, sort of a commodities exchange, if you will, in the weed industry. A Wall Street meets marijuana approach to the business. MSNBC's Ronan Farrow spoke with one of their executives.
Joining me now, Steve Janjic. He's the CEO of Amercanex. Steve, so your company created the American Cannabis Exchange, or ACE. As I understand it, this is the first fully electronic marketplace for cannabis retailers to buy and sell inventory. How exactly is that going to work, and how exactly is it legal?
Well, currently what we do is we follow the current laws and infrastructures that are in place. So what we do is we operate state by state, which we believe eventually this is going to become a national product where we can allow everybody to transact. But if you currently just look at Colorado, we have an infrastructure, both Colorado, Washington, as well as California, where we allow this transaction to take place legally.
But there's still such variability in just how legalized pot is from state to state. So how are you going to transfer the goods? How does this stay legal if it's a national marketplace?
Well, again, what we're doing is we're building it state by state with the anticipation of it going national. But what we do is we follow all the local regulatory rules and frameworks that are already in place. And what we really do is we allow for this marketplace to really bring the regulatory agencies the ability to have transparency in a marketplace where they currently don't have any in the marketplace.
So what do you do when the presence of that marketplace actually results in more interstate transfers that may not be legal all the time?
Well, again, we don't. So what we do is we manage that infrastructure. So if you look at the way that our platform works, it's similar to, say, an E-Trade or an eBay, but for a physical product. So once they actually buy a product, the transportation has already built in. So we use outside transportation companies. We have a widget that's built in so that ultimately it's handled all legally and by companies that are currently in the transportation space.
And is all the production of these goods happening within the United States?
All of the production is happening within the U.S., but also state by state. So, again, we look at the regulatory frameworks that currently allow for this product to be legal. And if you look at Colorado, if you look at Washington, and even California, the regulatory framework allows for this legal wholesale distribution.
The thing that's so striking about this to me is that you're saying specifically you're planning for a future where this is more legal, where this infrastructure can really come into play. What do you anticipate is the next step in that? How fast do you think legalization will, in your view, go national?
If you really just look at the past few years, the numbers are pretty staggering and why we came to market so quickly. It's really growing at a staggering pace. We're now well over 25 states with legalization on a medical level, as well as on, if you look at over 5 states at a recreational level. So it's growing so quickly. The thing is that you need some type of a compliance, of a framework for the regulatory agencies to be able to manage this growth at such a euphoric pace.
And that growth is reflected in just the hype surrounding this idea of yours. You have 20,000 seats on the exchange. Apparently, you've already sold 2,400. Were you taken aback by the amount of demand?
Absolutely, and it purely speaks for the marketplace needing something like this. If you just look at Washington State, some of the reasons that we built the product has already occurred, and we couldn't, and none of us could anticipate it. We've seen collusion. We've already seen price fixing in a marketplace where you would never expect it. So what we do is we give the regulators the ability to really manage this entire infrastructure from day one versus making mistakes and then having to build it out.
Brand new market, brand new demand, and a brand new piece of infrastructure that's going to be necessary. Really compelling idea for how to get ahead of that. Thank you so much for your time, Steve Janjic.
Pleasure to be here.
Very interesting. And that was MSNBC's Ronan Farrow. And be sure to tune in this weekend when MSNBC premieres a new series, Pot Barons of Colorado. It follows the stories of Colorado-based pot barons who risk it all to secure a foothold in the rapidly expanding world of legal recreational marijuana use. And you can watch Pot Barons Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on MSNBC. That's going to do it for me this hour. Craig